What's up, everyone? This is James Quilty, and welcome back to our product selling secrets boot camp. So today is module 3, and today we're going to be covering how you can acquire customers for free, or even to get your customers to pay you to be a customer. Wouldn't that be something that probably you've never even heard of, or you actually haven't seen on in your business, right? So before I get into that, I want to share something with you. So the network marketing company previously that my wife and I were a part of, we were a part of that for many years. And if you haven't heard my story, go back to module 1. But the gist of it was our company, because they were involved in some serious litigation with the FTC, because there was a class action lawsuit that was brought against them. They didn't want to go through all of the negative ramifications of negative press and all that if they were going to fight that. So they complied with the requirements that the FTC had laid down, and so they changed overnight practically the multi-level compensation. They were no longer going to be offering multi-level tiers in their compensation level. It was strictly going to be one tier, and basically an affiliate type program where if you sell the product, you get a commission, and that's it. You don't get any residuals off of business partners or anything like that. And and when that happened, I found it kind of interesting that when I started doing some research on the industry, the majority, not all, but the majority of all of the negative press that comes about with network marketing, multi-level marketing, has to do with the fact that people don't make any money. I mean, these class action lawsuits that come against these companies that are telling them that they are some sort of scam or pyramid scheme, it's because people that were promised one thing, or they had a dream of building residual income, being able to replace their current income, being able to live debt free, or whatever the promise was, and it never happened. They ended up actually going into debt, spending more money, not getting any of that money back. Certainly not becoming profitable, and so some people get kind of jaded, and they go right to the government and say, hey, this was a scam, I didn't make any money, and it was I was trying to sell family and friends or whatever. And what I started noticing was that if the majority of people in network marketing were actually turning a profit, or at the very least they were able to break even or recoup the money that they actually put into the investment, then there really wouldn't be any issue with the business itself. When people start calling it a scam, it's because in some way, shape, or form they thought that they were getting promised something and it never happened. Whatever that may be. So that brings us to today's concept in today's module, which is the ability to acquire customers for free, and that is through what I like to call a self-liquidating offer or a funded proposal. And if you've never heard of any of these terms, don't worry, we'll go over it. But these terms were coined by Mike Dillard in his magnetic sponsoring course. Again, he saw the same issues that I saw when my company had changed its compensation structure. And there's a lot of big companies that are out there. I won't name any of them that have been in a lot of legal issues with the government. Right, and you never really hear a lot of class action lawsuits that are happening against these companies because of the products. Right, somebody took the product and didn't get any results, and so all of a sudden they're going to sue. You don't usually see on that. It always has to do with the fact that nobody was making any money, that they're actually losing money, that they actually spent like thousands of dollars and didn't make anything back, and so all of a sudden that is a scam. So what Mike Dillard wanted to do is he wanted to change that. He knew that in order for you to turn a profit, that it was going to take a little bit of time. Well, most people can't make any type of money off of the small commission that you make off of like a $20 or $100 profit or a product, right? And so he came up with a concept of the funded proposal, which is selling a a low ticket information product ahead of your company's product, right? So let me kind of walk you through this. So the average network marketer will go ahead and they'll invest 500 to 1,000 or something to get their starter kit, right? To make sure that they can maximize the total amount of commissions, right? So already they're in the hole, X amount of dollars. Just for all intents and purposes, let's just say it's $1,000, right? So they got $1,000 worth of these products, and let's just say that they have to sell like 20 of these products in order to recoup their investment. Okay, so what do? So immediately they go to their family and friends, try to peddle them, try to push this product on them. Some people say yes. So usually about all their friends will probably get maybe 2 or 3, right? And then hopefully out of the 2 or 3, they'll have somebody that want to do the business as well, and so they'll start tapping into their warm market, right? And so then their warm market will actually start making, hopefully will start making some sales. But what happens to about 99% of network marketers is that they have all this product that they don't know how to sell. They can't move. They maybe get 1 or 2. They consume the rest, and so they're in the hole for the amount that they paid in order to get that starter kit, right? Well, with a funded proposal, remember what we said, back in module 2, that sellification, selling through education, right? Educating your ideal client, on how they can actually get the result that they're looking for, or solve that main problem, right? Well, through a funded proposal, you would put a very low ticket, anywhere from about $7 to $47 dollars that you would sell an information product, because it didn't take an information product is easiest because it just take maybe a couple hours for you to put together, or you can hire somebody to put together for you. But all it is just a link on a landing page, or it's a link in an email that you would send, so it doesn't cost anything for you to actually fulfill on that. You don't have any physical products that you have to create and ship out. Okay, and what that product is it will sell your prospect some information on how they can solve their biggest problem. And the key is that profit that you would make on that front end informational product will pay for your advertising up front. So basically you recoup all your costs and you get a customer for free. Now, what does that mean? So you're probably asking, well, James, I just spent all this money and I didn't make anything back. I broke even. I'm not making any profit. Hold on a second. What you did was you acquired a customer for free, where most people out there, they're in the hole because they don't have any customers and they don't have anybody to sell to, and they got a garage full of product, right, that they can't move. So they're in the hole. And what you did was you have positioned yourself as an expert, as an authority, selling information to people, because most people will, and you think about the psychology of how people operate. Most people love to learn about something rather than actually doing that something. So selling how-to information about the single biggest problem that your ideal client is having is very attractive to them, and it doesn't cost anything on their part, except for they just need to pull their credit card out of their wallet and they need to hit submit. So now you've sent that information to that client. They've actually pulled out their credit card, which makes them a very hot lead, right? Because they've already raised their hand and say, yes, I am a buyer, instead of a lot of the tire kickers that are just looking for something free. And it's always easier to sell somebody that has already bought than to trying to get a brand new customer who hasn't actually raised their hand and pulled out their credit card. So now what you have is you have a customer that has paid for your information product, and so that revenue that you've collected on that front end has paid for all of your advertising costs. So now you have no debt, you have no cost, you have all these customers that have come in for free. So now what you do is now you upsell them your product or your service. And so does that mean that all of them are going to buy? No, but what that means is that a large portion of those people will buy your product. And so now that is pure profit, because remember, that information product that you sold on the front end covered all your advertising costs, covered all of the costs that you put up front to get the those clients. It covered your promotional pack, right? And so now you are not in debt. You owe nothing. And so now all the revenue that you get from selling the product or the service from your company, guess what? That is pure profit. And that is how you acquire customers. That's how you get customers to pay you to actually be a lead. When I, read and I saw, what Mike Dillard had done and some of the other top, industry leaders on how they were acquiring customers, this is how they do it. This is how they not only build a large database of customers, that's how they're able to go, from one opportunity to the next and hit the top rank, in a very short period of time without having to cold call, because none of those top leaders do any of cold calling. And the majority of them, they don't pull, their organization out. I mean, some do, and some are kind of shady like that, but the ones with a lot of integrity, for whatever reason, if, they're moving on to a new opportunity or they're leaving an organization because their values have changed, guess what? Because they have acquired those customers, because they have that influence, because they have developed a tribe, so to speak, of people that know, like, and trust them, guess what? They're able to they're able to move into a new opportunity and get to the top income level very, very quickly, because they have customers that know, like, and trust them. They have customers that have already raised their hand. They have already proven themselves to be buyers. They have already started to consume the information that they have been giving them. And so it's very easy just to write a couple of promotions and emails, send that out to the database, and then bada bing, bada boom, you have a majority or you have a percentage of that database that is taking you up on that offer, and that's how they're able to win at this game. So creating a funded proposal or a self-liquidating offer, and self-liquidating meaning that it liquidates all of your costs, right? And so that is how you could acquire customers for free. Now, if you would like to know more on how you would actually put something like that together, there is a link down below that you can actually purchase Mike Dillard's book called Magnetic Sponsoring. You can get that book for free, where he lays out this process in detail on how you can put that together. So that's all that I have for this module. So remember, so far we've gone over module 1. We've gone over that secret formula, right? Knowing who your customer is. Module 2 is the sellification, so educating your ideal client or selling through education, right? And now this module we just covered on how you can acquire customers for free, or how you can get people to pay you before they even know about your opportunity or your product, and that is through a funded proposal or a self-liquidating offer, taking a very a very simple how-to information, your product that you actually sell your client or your ideal customer. That revenue that you get from that covers your ad costs, and so now you have a client that's actually raised their hand. They're a very hot lead. They love your information because they already paid for what you had, and if it was really good information, guess what? That means that they're going to want to consume some more. And so now you upsell them your product or your service, because the information that you just sold them, it very easily works in with your product. So for instance, if you have a protein supplement, right? That means that you have clients that are interested in protein. They are interested in protein powders, right? And so a very good quick just off the top of my head, a good information product would be the big book of protein powders, right? Learn the top proteins that you need for men over 40 in order to gain muscle and to lose weight, and do it in a very relatively short period of time without any side effects, and the proteins that you need to definitely stay away from, right? Sell that for about $27. People that are interested in, like myself, I'm 48, I would love to have a product like that, okay, right? So they go ahead and they purchase that product, and then so inside inside that product, you are talking about all the different types of proteins that they should have and the type of proteins that they shouldn't have. And obviously, one of the top proteins that you're going to recommend is the protein that you are actually selling. That's how you upsell them, right? And then you have some follow-up offers, reselling, or you're trying to get more people to buy that offer to sell your protein, right? And all you're doing is you are putting some emails in a follow-up sequence to your clients, and a fraction of them or a portion of them will actually purchase your product. And that's how the big boys do it. That is how you actually acquire customers. That's how you build an organization. That is how you stay profitable, and that's how you stay in this game long enough to actually start building that residual income. So that's all that I have for you in this one. Remember that link below. Go ahead and click that if you want to get more information on how to build a funded proposal by Mike Dillard through his magnetic sponsoring book that you can get it for free. Yes, that is my affiliate link. Yes, I'll get a little bit of commission, and I want to be completely transparent with that. But I would not offer that to you if I did not believe it. A lot of these concepts that I'm learning, I learned from Mike Dillard's course. I learned from the magnetic sponsoring course. So go ahead and get that below, and I'm going to see you in the next training. Bye bye.